Hey everyone, Frank here. So I wanted to bring you my review on a book that I read in the last year. It's called Never Finished. It's by David Goggins. I read the first book that he wrote called Can't Hurt Me a couple years ago, and I did a review on this channel for it. It's one of my favorite books I ever read. It's a good book. And this was almost Can't Hurt Me Part 2, but instead of being called Part 2, it's called Never Finished. So for those of you that don't know, David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL and an endurance athlete. He's got a really cool background, really neat story that he has, and his first book, which again is called Can't Hurt Me, talks about a lot of that. If you're into mental strength, mental toughness, and discipline, and trying to grow in that aspect of your lives, this is a good book for you. So Can't Hurt Me, great book, and this builds upon the things that he talks about in Can't Hurt Me. It's 9 chapters, around 300 pages or so, and it's kind of like the next step with examples and definitive moments in his life that are applicable to the point and the message that he's trying to make. It's definitely a book worth reading. It's in some ways unique. You don't have to read the first book to read this one. It helps, but it's not necessarily a prerequisite. There's certain things that he references back to throughout the book and some of the chapters, and then some things he builds upon completely just in this book alone. And I think that overall, I really like this book. I think it's great. Obviously the hard copy has photos in it. So if you're into opening a book and reading it line for line, looking at photos, the hard copy is the way to go. But there's also an audio book through Audible that you can get that has a bunch of bonus information. It's kind of like an audio book and a podcast. At the end of each chapter, there's a discussion. And for that reason, the audio book is definitely worth checking out. I've read the whole book once, and then I've listened to multiple chapters repeatedly whenever I'm running or working out. So I've listened to it for quite a bit, and it's really a great book to read that makes you kind of examine your own life and think about what you'd like to do differently and how you can, and you're able to in ways that you didn't originally think you could. This, in my opinion, is definitely a worthy part 2 to the extremely high bar that he set in Can't Hurt Me. Now, I am going to do a video on which book I like more. So if you're interested in that, you'd like to check it out, check out the link in the description. I'll leave a link to that video too. But overall, this book, Never Finished, is a great book, and I definitely recommend checking it out. If you're into this kind of thing, give it a read because you won't regret it. This book's probably, give or take, like $20, $30, somewhere in there, maybe less if you want the hard copy. If you want the audiobook, it's probably even less than that. So check it out. I promise you, you will not regret it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.